time?
We didn't run a lot, so we're kind of sweaty. Hey, Jumpy, did you want to take a shower together?
Whoa!
Friends and Meisters, welcome back to more 999. Last we left off, we just escaped one room only to be stuck in another predicament. The kitchen. There's a bunch of little wavy ridges on this plate. Those plates are for serving meat. Ugh, you really are ignorant, aren't you? Come on, it's not like I need to know this crap. Jeez. A partition. There's nothing special about it. Well, no, it's just a partition. I think there are 15 of these plates. I'm assuming they're for seafood. How the hell can you tell that? They look just like any other plate from the 99-cent store. If you ever take a lady out to dinner, you're going to embarrass yourself. I feel sorry for June. But why the hell are you bringing up June? The lady don't protest too much, methinks. You are not terribly subtle. Oh, correct. 1, 2, 3, there's 10 of them. If you flip these over, they look like hats. The middle is super deep for a plate. Oh god, Junpei. They're soup plates. They're made that way so that the soup doesn't spill. If we ever get out of here, you should treat yourself to a nice dinner out. What makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that? Not wrong, a poor college student wouldn't. I thought of a night out would probably be Toonie Tuesday or a value pick at, McDonald's. Those 9 plates look pretty expensive. They're plates for appetizers. Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay, well, excuse me, princess. There's a voucher at the end of the counter. The voucher doesn't match the number of the plates on the table. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F on the voucher. And the plates on the table are 9 appetizer, 16 meat, 10 soup, and 15 seafood. Maybe they're using hexadecimal here. And hexadecimal is? It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. You're familiar with the base 10, right? That's the normal system of the numbers. The base 10 equivalents for hexadecimal numbers would go like this. A equals 10, a B 11, C 12, D 13, E 14, and F 15. And 10 is 16. The 10 becomes 16 base 10. I know it sounds strange, but you can think of it just like 6 letters added on to the normal number system after 9. A equals 10, B equals 11, C equals 12, D, E, F, so forth and so on. I think I get it. Makes sense. An iron oven? Looks pretty heavy duty. It's probably industrial quality. I bet you could cook anything with this. Anyways, let's have a look inside. Oh, of course it's locked. Damn, I knew it. It's locked. This is the display area above the buttons. Okay, I'm not playing off that because I don't have a code idea yet for it. At least I'm not sure on one yet. All we've got here is a pot and a frying pan. Oh, and a pressure cooker. Well, I guess we could use some of these as weapons if need be. What kind of an idiot are you? You're gonna run around holding that thing while you're looking for the dad? Hey man, it was just a joke. Chill, why so serious? You're not the Joker, Junpei. There are some bottles of seasoning in here. Oh, those would make for good pepper spray. Maybe this table is for preparing food. There are plates everywhere. A sink. It's still got water in it. There's a couple of plates in there, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. Not unless we bludgeon people with them. Ooh, a whetstone. Now we can sharpen things to stab ourselves with. A trash can. There's nothing inside of it. Well, better than being full of rotten food, I suppose. That would be pretty disgusting. Damn it, there's nothing in here. Hey, Santa, digging through the trash really suits you. What the hell did you say? Listen, lady, I did you a favor. I know you just piss and moan, so I did it for you. Oh my. Oh, I don't recall asking you to do anything. Ugh. I ought to throttle you. Please do. Squeeze me. Does it feel colder in here? That joke. Oh, a countertop. There's a rolling pin and a colander here. Nothing useful. Well, we could bludgeon the lady that just moved you off with them. That would make you feel better, buddy. There's a partition that splits the room. Nothing suspicious about that. What's this? Alright, it's going. Do you think this was all part of Zero's plan? Probably. Kinda hard to believe there's a chef on board somewhere. I mean, somebody was in here using it. I wonder what this drawer is. You see the metal grate on top of the grill? They make it like that so that the fat and juices can drip off the meat while it cooks. Well, yeah, that's how it should be. It looks like there's an area under the plate that opens up. No, you can't. I already checked. It's sealed shut. I think that's where the coal goes. Yeah, that'd be terrible to stick your hands in, especially since it's going. What's this? No, this is the door. It's a card reader. Since the light's red, I figure it's probably still locked. The card, or the key card for it's gotta be around here somewhere. We just gotta find it. Well, we already checked over there. It's a tank with a pipe coming out of it. Nothing really that special about it, though. What's this door? Cheese? Hey, there's something behind the cheese. You're right! Why don't we move some of this cheese? Alright guys, time to move it. June and I need to look behind you. Oh, it's delicious. Cheese. There's a little green bottle back there. Bottle of oil. This is Gouda cheese! The most famous Dutch cheese! Oh, it's delicious! If you don't cut open the casing, it usually won't go bad. So you can store it at room temperature for quite a while. So we can eat this? Most likely. I'm not hungry at all. I guess it's hard to get hungry in a situation like this. Wouldn't be a bad idea to take some with you, though. And what's this? There's the knife for that whetstone we found. Now we can get stabbed. Yay! A rusty knife. I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this. The knife seemed important, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was. Wait, what? It's futile. Futile? You know, a waste, useless, pointless. Oh, any particular reason you wanted to bring that up? Oh, no real reason, really. I was just thinking about futility. She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his question. What were you thinking about futility? At last she answered. Well, it has something to do with the Titanic. The Titanic? Yeah. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted? Oh, yeah, actually. Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. There was a novel that had a bunch of stuff in it that described the sinking of the Titanic before it actually sank. Yeah, that's the one! The title of the novel is Futility. It was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But... I know. I mean, I didn't know the name of the book, but... the story was the same, right? It was just like what happened on the Titanic. Yeah! Well, I heard it was all a hoax. A hoax? I heard that the stuff that matched up to the Titanic so well was actually added after it sank. Apparently the only thing that was the same originally was that a boat ran into an iceberg and sank. But the novel was published in 1898, 14 years before the accident. Like I said, that was the first print of the book. 14 years later, the author heard about what happened to Titanic. He figured that was his chance, you know, to be famous, to be a predictor of sorts, psychic even, and gain some attention and sales for the book. You know? He just went back and changed some stuff in his novel. So that it matched the Titanic exactly. Surprised by Junpei's response, Jun seemed rather taken aback. Really? Really? There's no such thing as premonitions or any of that stuff. For a moment, Jun looked very unhappy, more so than Junpei thought was normal for such a discussion. But it lasted only a moment. For no apparent reason, she suddenly looked at him, alarmed. But, that wasn't the only book that predicted the Titanic sinking. It wasn't? Well, you got me now. Yep. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thompson Stead. Both of them before the accident. One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided. Many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank. Huh. I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships. Right. I knew you'd say that. But what if Stead had some sort of special powers? To be more specific, what if he had the ability to automatic writing? What? What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about that thing where someone says they're possessed by a spirit? And then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing? Yes! What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull. Okay, so let's say hypothetically that automatic writing isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When the Stead dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by spirits of dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff? That's not it. What's not it? Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possession. What are you smoking? Should bet you are, my spirit animal. William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes. 20 years before it happened. He decided it was probably best to say nothing. Smart move. What Jun was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad. Junpei smiled uncomfortably. Why don't we talk about this some other time, okay? Huh? But... Her voice trailed off and she glanced at the floor, troubled. Junpei tapped Jun gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Ah, good. We know what to do with this. Let's combine it. Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. Yes, do that. The blade of the knife is getting sharper by the second. I should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Oh god, now we got a murder weapon. There's so much stuff in here. A whole lot of cans. This is probably a pantry. There's milk in here. Milk in an iron barrel. Judging by the rust, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. It'd probably be a gag-worthy sight. Is there anything else in here? I don't believe so. Out we go. Whoa, this pot looks like it's made out of silver. I bet drinking tea from this pot would be really yummy. Spending a day off with Jun drinking tea. Could such a thing ever happen for me? Jumpy? Oh, nothing. Why don't we don't really need hot water right now, so we should be moving on. It's the partition again. It's one of those swinging doors. You see them a lot in between kitchens and dining areas and restaurants. Well, with this door, you need to run all the way around the partition to get to the other side. That'd be really a pain in the ass, huh? Well, I guess it's not really important, but still. It's a note. It's got a bunch of stuff written on it, but it doesn't look like a code or anything. It's a bolt, and it's really rusty. Will this even open? You won't know until we try. Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see if you're gonna come out. Damn, no dice. A rusted bolt. The door won't open until we can do something about this bolt. We do have the oil. Maybe if we had some kind of lubricant. This bolt is rusted in place. It won't budge. Of course! Maybe if I put some oil on it. Hey, just a little bit of oil and come on. Come on, you little son of a bitch. Ah, yes! Got you, you little bastard. You did it, Jumpy. You're so smart. Damn right I am, June. And what is this, a freezer? As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. I think it's a freezer. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat. It's cold in here. What is this place? Are you blind? It's a freezer. Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was an even worse situation, right? She's wearing even less clothing. Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me. I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you. And with that, she ran out of the room. Bye! As Lotus left, June came in. Whoa, it's really cold in here! White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver. Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside, we got this. No, I'm fine. My fever's gone away now. But Junpei had scarcely opened his mouth when the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison, they spun around to find that the door they had recently opened, or only recently came through, was closed. Don't tell me it was the dancer. Junpei rushed to the door. Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob. Ow! It was cold beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful. The doorknob had been frozen solid. They quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured. Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Oh, shit. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door. Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door! She wasted no time in responding. What do you want? What's going on? The door won't open. Try opening it from that side, please. Fine. If you say so. Hold on. Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. Then the grunting ceased and they could hear light panting as if from exertion. It's no use. It won't budge. You got more people in there, you figure it out. Thanks. God damn it. Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes of all of them, was cruelly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cord working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies. Anyways, let's find a way out here. If we don't get moving, we're going to be permanent residents. Two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure out something. Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room, okay? Right. It's cold. They pushed in close to one another and began to search. Gotta save that body heat, don't we? Oh good, I can't hit it hard enough to break it. Maybe it just needs more of a shock, you know? More of a shock? This thing is covering something. It's frozen solid. I can't flip it over. More of a shock, more of a shock. What are you? Dry ice? That could be useful. Junpei picked up the dry ice with his sleeves as if to avoid burning himself. Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right? Yeah, it is. I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again. Hell if I know. How's that gonna help us anyways? Oh well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here. They were about to move on when June spoke up. Carbon dioxide's sublimation point is 109 degrees. Any warmer than that, it'll turn to gas. Any lower, it becomes a solid. Junpei looked at her, dumbfounded. How do you know that? Despite my looks, I'm the queen... the queen of random knowledge. Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb? Yarf. What's what? You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you? June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself. Come on, guys, don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first. Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei, however, was not in the mood to discuss science. I am, luckily. Hopefully curiosity doesn't kill us like it did the cat. It did strike Junpei as rather odd. It did seem rather odd to Junpei. He couldn't help but thinking about it. June answered. But it can turn into liquid. Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. But at 1 atmosphere, normal air pressure. Heh, it won't turn into liquid, right? That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating and change. Immediately from a solid to a gaseous one. See, that is weird. Water's a liquid between 30 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? June replied with an answer that stunned both of them. There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees. Huh? I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees. Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees? You mean that's water that freezes at 96 degrees? Yeah. Well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Interesting. Water that freezes at 96 degrees. Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees? Junpei was cold as hell, but it was too interesting to ignore. He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and stamping his feet, then put the question to June. So what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called? I heard it's called Ice 9. Ice 9? Originally, Ice 9 was made-up substance invented by a science fiction author. But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists. Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9? Or is it water? Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll become liquid. But if it's under that, it'll solidify. So you could think of it as polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and the structure are completely different. So you're saying normal water, this Ice 9, and this Ice 9 are like that? Yep. She wasn't finished. Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin? For 150 years after discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it, and did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin that was en route to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Naturally, scientists worldwide wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and began asking for samples of the seed. A seed is, of course, a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be a simple matter. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, nearby samples did as well. It didn't end there. After that day, all glycerin in the world began to crystallize naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. Once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like, how do I put it? It was almost like a glycerin in the world was communicating. Communicating in some way that we can't sense. Junpei. Oh my god, that is crazy. Huh, I'm honestly impressed. Junpei was honestly impressed. It was, in fact, a pretty interesting story. Whoa, that's pretty interesting. But, does that have to do with Ice 9? To his surprise, it was Santa, not June, who answered. What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean. A lot like, that would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees, man, it'd be the end of the world. Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with the proper concern. At any rate, we're not going to have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick. He's right, we should probably hurry up. Junpei shivered. Alright guys, I think there's enough of that. I don't think we'd get quite as far off topic. I mean, I know I'm kind of at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. Seriously. I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland. I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? Gotta find a way out of here. Ice cracking. Santa stomped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't infecting him. Selfish, isn't he? Thought Junpei to himself. Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to their search. The story of Ice 9 had interested him, but there'd be time to think about that once they gotten out of the freezer. Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed the search of the room. He's not wrong, we better get our acts together. Is there anything else in here? Because we didn't look for every... Oh, there is a piece of frozen chicken. Okay. Wasn't sure what I'd pick up in there. Oh, no, back out. What's on here? There's some frozen meat up there. It looks like pork. Huh? What's this? It looks like a tag or something. Chunk of pork. Tag? I kind of want to get the thing out of it. But I don't think a knife on a frozen piece of pork will do much. Everything's frozen in here. It doesn't look like there's anything else interesting. Okay. What's this? Oh, cool. It's like a little survival hatch. What are you? A water bottle. Oh. Sturdy rope. That's actually not a bad find at all. This actually gives me an idea. We have the water bottle, we have dry ice, which is carbon dioxide, and we have a rope. All we need now is water. And there doesn't look like there's anything else useful here. That is unfortunate. I think we looked at everything here so far. Oh, what's this? There's water dripping from this pipe. It looks like when the pipe burst, the water hit the doorknob and froze in place. This water actually almost seems warm. Ah, there's our water. Alright, I think I know what I need to do here. Alright, into the menu. We're gonna combine. Well, I can't combine that yet, it's still frozen. But what I want to try to do is crush this ice. And I have a feeling this chicken that's frozen is our bludgeon of choice. Doesn't have no important paper in it, so let's combine them. And here I thought I'd never be using science outside of school. Well, there we go, it sounds like it's being crushed quite well. Alright, the dry ice is in all pieces now. Oh, fantastic. Now let's try throwing this into the water bottle. Now that it's crumbled, it should fit in there nicely. I'm gonna put these pieces of dry ice into the water bottle. Alright, next we'll combine the rope with the bottle, because we need some way for it to stick to the doorknob. And we should be good with that. We just need the water now. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door. Junpei pulled out the water bottle, filled with dry ice, and let a good amount of water fall in, and then quickly sealed it up tight. The makeshift bomb complete, he tied it to the doorknob as quickly as he could manage in the cold. Alright, that's set. What do we do now? We just need to give it a little tap. The bottle's already about to pop. You just throw a rock at it or something, and it'll go off all on its own. A small rock, a small rock. Junpei looked down at the floor. Scattered across it were pieces of dry ice, left over from the larger chunk he'd crushed earlier. Alright, this ought to do the trick. He pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned, and grabbed the chunk of dry ice. It was a pretty good size, about as big as a pool ball. He figured it would be just about the right size. Alright guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere. Both Santa and June looked at him with new concern. Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius? There isn't really anywhere big enough. Huh. Well, actually, yeah, there is. We just took all our stuff out of it. Look, right here. We can hide in here. Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar. Good thinking, my man. Come on! Get inside, quick! Santa and June nodded and jumped down into the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand, he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide, even though it through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw. Let's see if we can actually hit it. Alright, here it goes. 3, 4, 5. Yes. You're counting the wrong way. Oops. Is the cold man? This is a really sad excuse for a joke, man. Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready? Yes, whenever you're ready. Just throw the damn thing. Alright, here I go. 3, 2, 1. Vwap! Junpei threw the chunk of ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked into the cellar of Santa and June, just as... Some good sound effects, let me just say. Junpei leapt out of the cellar and ran to the door. Jumpy! The ice on the door, is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. The blast must have shattered it. Yes, alright, let's see if it opens. Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. The door gave way easily, and all three of them tumbled to the freezer at once. Hooray! We're out! June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor. Move! Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed. Ah! God damn it! Hot, hot, hot! Fuck! He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of rage. But where was Lotus? Good question. It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest. Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys. With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked towards her. What were you doing? What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting. We were gonna die! Oh yeah? But you didn't, so everything worked out alright, didn't it? What the hell? Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried. Don't give me that crap. I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in a lot of trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck in here, and I'd die too. See? She does have a point, Junpei. I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there's anything I could use to pry open the door. But I couldn't find anything. So all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops? Well, that wouldn't work either. It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth. Fine, but there's one thing I have to ask you. What's that? You didn't close the door, did you? What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too. She was right, and Junpei knew it. Without them, she'd be in a very serious trouble. It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure. If Lotus had really wanted to kill them, all she would have had to do was bar the door from the outside. And she hadn't. Well, she hadn't done anything, and maybe that's what's pissing him off so much. The most she was guilty of was laziness or negligence, not attempted murder. Junpei swallowed his anger and did the best he could to apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I doubted you. Oh yes, well, that's alright as long as you understand, and... Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the grill was almost complete. Santa swaggered back towards Junpei and Lotus. Hey, no more screwing around, you two. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while... Brutal. We were freezing to death. How rude. I was plenty busy. Yeah, so how about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go. I love Santa. I don't mean the jolly fat man, I mean that Santa. That's fantastic. I can try this, but I think it's frozen, so we're probably not going to be able to do that. No. Chunk of pork. Well, we could try warming it on the grill now that I think about it. That would make sense. Where is this grill again? Ah, over here. Guess I'll put this meat on the grill. Hey, what are you doing? What are you gonna do if the paper burns? Come on. It'll be fine. I mean, it's not like it's gonna burn right away, right? You just gotta keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. Well, they can argue all they want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Cool. Looks like it's about time. I'm gonna try taking the paper out. Jumpy, be careful. Sweet of her to care, but I know what I'm... Ouch! See? I told you. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. It's not coming out. The thing's frozen stiff. I can't get it out. I thought as much. So, are we going to have to cut the meat? Yeah, it looks that way. Well, we do have a knife, luckily. Alright, now they've sharpened the knife. Ah, yes! We cut the pork. Awesome, Junpei. Now we can cut out that paper. Pork note? C plus 10 plus F? Oh, okay, I think I see. This reminds me of the hexadecimal system we were talking with Lotus about earlier. Okay, that bodes well. Man, this pork smells good. Really want a piece of that pork. It looks delicious. There you are. Since I never explained my thinking well enough, let me try to do so now. So, from what we know with the hexadecimal system, if we use that to translate the pork note, we would come up with the numbers 12 for C, 16 for 10, and 15 for F. Now the pork note also had plus signs on it between them, so I'd assume I should add those results together to get the number 43. Hopefully that'll get us in, but there's only one way to find out. This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Maybe if we put in the right number, it'll open the door. Junpei, maybe the note you found had something to do with this. Yeah, I know. Do you know how to enter those numbers? I think E is for the enter and C is for clearing. So basically, when I'm ready to submit my answer, I press E. So if I screw up, I just press C, right? Lotus nodded. Alright, let's give it a shot. Well, I guess I have to call Lotus tips, because that only submits my idea. Thank you, Lotus. Now, from what we know, with the hexadecimal system, we'd be looking at the numbers for C, 10, and F would be respectively 12, 16, and 15. So let's try entering those in, though I doubt they'll fit. And when we look at that, it don't fit. Where's that clear button? C, oh, there it is. Alright, add them together, that would be 43. Ah, perfect. Sounds like metal is falling. Well, I guess that went well. I would agree, no one exploded this time. Yeah! The door opened! Good job, Jumpy! The Saturn key card. Huh. Looks kinda cool, actually. Alright, let's try it. Yes! I think it's unlocked now. You did it, Jumpy! Let's get out of here! Yes! Let's go! You found it! You have sought your way out. Fate will not win. Fate is in our favor. They stepped out of the kitchen into a hallway that looked rather familiar. Huh, we're on the other side of the gate. Metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were two elevators and the entrance to the kitchen. They had entered the kitchen from one door and came out the other. That meant their map of the ship's interior was accurate, at least. They laid the map out in front of them and began to discuss their next step. There were 4 possible routes. A, B, C, and D. First A and B seemed to connect to this L-shaped room. However, the 2 doors that led to the room, they're locked, aren't they? Yep, were both locked and could not be opened. C, however, was the next route. This goes all the way to the main staircase. Man, it's door 5, one of the numbered doors. Then do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway? No, I don't think we will. Why not? Look. There, by the stairs. See how the gate is opened? When we went to the kitchen, it was closed. But it's open now. What do you think that means? They opened it. Most likely. She has a valid point. Then if we take route C, we're going backwards. That would be pointless. Then that means... all 4 looked at the map. Well, we gotta go down those stairs. They all looked at the staircase, its lazy curve leading down deeper into the ship. Route D then. D it is. Yep, Route D. Then we're set. Down we marched, down we jogged the stairs until they reached the C deck. Just to be sure, they kept going to check the deck beneath. Yeah, just like I thought. D deck, or deck D, is totally underwater. Just like the bottom of the central staircase. The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great mirror. And as ominous as it was, Junpei took at least some comfort from the fact that the level hadn't gone up much since the last time we'd seen it. They turned back to C deck. Didn't take them long to find the 2 elevators in front of the stairs. They looked identical to the elevators on the top floor, with one exception. These elevators had card readers on the wall between them. On the card reader was a strange mark. Hey look, it's Lotus's symbol! Heh. See, it's the woman's symbol with a thorn on it. She is pretty thorny. That seems like... Ouch, ouch, ouch! Lotus had taken hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently and he thought he heard a low growl coming from her throat. Well, Junpei, don't make fun of her, she's a barbarian. Such violence. Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, Jun spoke up. This is the symbol for Mercury. The thorn symbolizes the wings on a Hermes staff. Hermes, herpes, whatever. They're pretty different, Santa. If we can't get this thing to work, these elevators aren't going anywhere. In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it. Probably. Didn't have to shake the crap out of me, woman. Bad jokes, Junpei, bad jokes. They gave up on the elevators and returned to the stairs, always stretched out to the left. A great many doors lined both sides of the hallway. We weren't sure how many, but certainly enough to be discouraging. Damn it, if we try and search all these, the sun's gonna go down before we're done. Half of them. I think the sun already set. I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon. That's even worse. Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the hallway on the other side, shall we? Not a bad idea. Frustration and fear building, they walked back to the stairs. To the right was a small hallway. Quickly, they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led towards the stern. At its end was a set of double doors. Let's open it. Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move. It was unlocked. Thrilled to have found an unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw. Oh! That's a lot of beds. He simply stood, unable to speak. The others simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak. What the hell is this? A massive room stretched out in front of them. More a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the four companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. There were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattress. Is this a hospital? He had at least been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room. The room swam with the harsh, biting smell of antiseptic. So a sort of medical room, I guess? In the center of the room were shelves stacked with medicine and a number of medical devices, the function of which Junpei did not know. More importantly, however, on the back wall of the room were 4 doors. 3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint. Unlike the ones we know, the door on the left was labeled 3. The second door on the left had no number, but the third had been given a 7. And the rightmost door had an 8. There could be no doubt they were numbered doors. It did strike Junpei as strange, however, that the door between 3 and 7 should be blank. What he wondered, could it mean? Let's take a look at the doors. Yes, that sounds like a good plan. Junpei headed towards the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3 on the left and moved to the right until he reached door 8. All of which seemed locked. It's no use. Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, there would be no point of the nonary game. We have to activate the red or the numbered doors won't. Wait a minute. What's wrong? Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it. Huh? That is strange. Don't you remember the red at the central staircase? If no one was inside, it said vacant. There's something wrong with them then. Oh yeah, you're right. But this one... there's nothing on it. Right? I wonder if it's broken. Only one way to find out. 'Tis true. Touch your hand, see if it works. And it didn't respond. All 4 took turns placing their hand over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled at the lever and still it did nothing. Anyhow, Meisters, I believe that's where we'll end it for today. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like to show your support. And if you would like to see more Shinigami shenanigans just like today's, do subscribe to the channel and join the Academy now for more videos like this one in the future. As always, I am trying to be active on social media, so do follow me on there if you so feel inclined. We'll see you next time on 999.